And the new thing I have on the tradition I have on here is Git Bit is new people go first. So I'm going to go above me to Jack first. So Jack, I'm going to start with this question. What did you think of E3 this year?
I mean, it had its ups and downs. It wasn't, it didn't have the big splash announcements that we're all wanting and usually hoping for from E3, but it had a lot of solid stuff. And then a lot of just crap too. I feel like it was very uncoordinated. Kind of Summer Game Fest was doing their thing. IGN had their coverage, and then all the developers had their own stuff. Some which weren't even necessary, to be honest. But yeah, it had its good and bad bags. But there were some cool stuff announced that I'm looking forward to. So not all terrible.
All right, so not a shit sandwich, but just not a shit sandwich, but just not a soggy one. I got you. G, you're also, of course, again welcome to the Git Bit Podcast. You, sir, what did you think of E3 this year?
It was just cool. I mean, there was nothing, like Jack was saying, nothing that was worth taking home to. I was hoping for some big news coming up, like maybe a new Switch, the new Switch Pro. Or maybe, Game Pass coming to TVs and like laptops now. But, solid games coming out. We got some Metroids coming back. Halo is coming back. So that's good stuff. And then we got the bad, which we'll get into later.
Okay. Vaughn. I've been waiting on this. Well, not this question. Not this question. Not yet. Not that question. Wait till later. What did you think of E3, sir?
E3. Once that beautiful girl that we all was in love for, I'm assuming they were all hetero. It was that beautiful girl in high school that we just wanted to highlight, that we loved, but she would always just, not give us the time of day, but always have something new and beautiful to show. Maybe a little side boob, a little leg in class, just something. And then you see her through the years, it just goes down. The looks just go down. She has 1 child, 2 child, 3 child. And then you see it now. She's just worn out. More kids than she can deal with. 5 children, 7 baby daddies. It's just terrible now.
Wait. When did E3 become Maury? Hold up.
E3 was basically it should have been something for Netflix, because most of the things we saw was just CG trailers. Most of the things I saw, are we watching television shows or fucking video games? Somebody talk to me here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if I came in a little hot. My bad.
No. This is.
This was almost like Christmas time for me. Like, I would love this time. Going to YouTube was like opening new presents. It's like, oh my god, this is about to come out. Oh man, So in March, I'm gonna be broke. I'm gonna have to have to work about 4 or 5 jobs. I might have to start stripping again. April, all my money is gone. Now I'm like. 2022 is just, I'm cool. I can just stack my money because it seemed like everything that I like wasn't coming out till 2022. But at least Aisha Tyler was in there with them lame ass jokes. That's the only good thing I got.
That's what did it for you, huh? That was the consistent thing of all of it.
Thank you, Aisha, for keeping your tall ass at home with them whack ass jokes you tell every year.
But you still watch Archer. Anyway,
yes. But somebody writes for her.
Damn. Well, just to wrap this up, like I said, for me on E3, it was on the disappointing side, and I think, I can't really blame. I don't want to blame the developers out there, because COVID-19 was like the undefeated champ over the last year and a half. A lot of things got slowed down. A lot of things got pushed back and got pushed back on the back burner. And just like me and Vaughn were talking on his Rhythm This podcast not too long ago before he hit the live button, we have to realize that, E3 is like that. Either you show up or you don't show up. And if you don't show up, you don't get talked about. If you do show up, yeah, you might have a crappy showcase, but they still know you. They still know you showed up. So just to go ahead and right into it, we're going to start with Ubisoft. I'm just going to run through all the games and stuff. that they talked about before I go about and ask you guys what y'all thought of Ubisoft. So Ubisoft did actually come out with a Ubisoft Plus subscription. It seems everybody's getting into the subscription series nowadays. They did actually show a new IP, Rainbow Six Extraction. They did show a new Rocksmith game. They did give an announcement on Riders Republic, which will be out September 2nd. They did talk about a new DLC for Watchdog Legion called Bloodline. They did talk about the next DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Siege of Paris. They did talk about their expansion to television, a new season of Mythic Quest. If you have not seen it on Apple TV, it's one of those things I highly recommend. If you haven't seen it, if you don't have Apple TV, if you have other means, I am not saying you should use other means, NSA. But again, if you haven't seen it, you really should. They even went out to movies.
Joe and them down at the barber shop.
Right, pretty much. But the other movie, they actually talked about a movie, Werewolves Within, which is actually going to be out June 25th. They did talk about Far Cry 6 as far as having a season pass. And the season pass was talking about how you can play as the villain in previous Far Cry games, including Blood Dragon, which was a standalone game. They did actually show Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. And of course, they were the first company to show Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope, which is the second Rabbids game that is an induction with Nintendo. So, Jack, I'm going to start with you. Overall, what did you think of Ubisoft's E3 showcase and, your grade behind it, sir?
For the most part, I didn't care, honestly. I mean, like, usually Ubisoft will put out like some decent trailers and some cool games. A lot of the past iterations of their games I've just skipped on, like the latest Far Cry or Assassin's Creed. I haven't played those, and honestly, since I've never really been into Far Cry, like I played like the first one forever ago on 360 or whatever, and it just wasn't that great of a game. So I never really gave the franchise a chance. Okay. But I heard since 3 it's gotten better. I just never gone back and played any of them. But I love Assassin's Creed. I haven't jumped into Valhalla. I've been meaning to. So that's cool. It seems like they got a lot of stuff there. The big thing for me was Rainbow Six Extraction. That game looks really dope.
Okay.
And there's a ton of sort of zombie horde games coming out on the horizon, and this one was one of the ones I'll probably stand above for me. Just the fact that you have the different operators and the different abilities and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And the same thing for the Mario and Rabbids. I never played the original, but it always looked cool. Kind of has that top-down tactics feel, which I've really gotten into over the past year or two with games like Gears Tactics and stuff. So I'm really getting into that genre, and that definitely seems like something fun, and I can maybe convince my wife to play. But other than that, there was Riders Republic, which looks kind of like it could be fun, but I just don't see there being much of a draw to that game after a couple months. I don't know. So I don't really see what will be bringing you back to that game. But I mean, sure they'll have cool events and stuff, but will that really have any sort of? We'll see how the staying power is for that game. But Ubisoft, it wasn't. They had some cool announcements, some nice. They're keeping their franchises going and stuff, but nothing that really wowed me for the most part, except for Rainbow Siege and their big announcement, Avatar. Never saw the movie. Couldn't care less about that franchise, to be honest.
You're not missing anything, sir. Yeah. Trust me, when it comes to Pandora, you ain't missing that. You ain't missing a goddamn thing.
Right.
But okay, but thank you.
Take America, add blue people.
Pretty much. That's pretty much all you need to know about Pandora. That's it. I promise you. But G, I'm gonna point the ball to you, sir. What did you think of Ubisoft's E3, and what's the grade you give it?
To be honest with y'all, like I can't really get down with a lot of Ubisoft games because games like Assassin's Creed or like Far Cry, it's just too much to do. I never finished them. Period.
Okay.
And I'm not hyped to see another game like that. Now, what I am waiting for is Let's Dance. That's what I'm waiting for, y'all.
Just Dance 2022?
Listen, I'm all for it, man. That's the perfect workout game right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready for that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. I actually forgot to mention that actually comes out November 2nd, but go ahead.
Boom. Right for my birthday. But yeah, and then what is it? Rainbow.
Yeah, Rainbow Six Extraction.
Rainbow Six Extraction. Now that looks interesting. I could never play the first one. It was too, it was just too technical for me. I mean, like Jack was saying, I give it a C. And Ubisoft is cool. Now the one game that my son and I do play together is that Mario and Rabbids game for the Switch. Now that is fun right there. So I want to see what they do with that iteration for the sequel.
All right. So you give it a C. That's what you gave a C. Okay. Vaughn, what say you, sir? Ubisoft, and what you think of in your grade, please?
I hated Watch Dogs Legion. I haven't gotten to play. Haven't gotten a chance to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And wait, Ubisoft was there.
Yeah,
seriously, Ubisoft was there. Like, that's just how I feel about it. Like, everything that I saw, DLC, except for like Far Cry 6 and all that, man. Everything else is just. I'm sorry. I had to I feel like who was it? It's Stan? Stan in that episode when he turned 10 of South Park.
Dang.
That's how I feel in this E3 right now. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's just like everything I saw was just like, and I'm like, you still trying to push the Crew 2? Seriously,
you love
that game is still
being. Wait! Didn't you love the Crew? Weren't you a Crew fan?
I hated it.
I could have sworn you were a Crew fan.
Dude, I'm a Crew. The first one, first one, I liked it. But it's another thing. Like the Crew 2, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna give my grade, which is a FUCKIN apostrophe. I loved the stuff that I loved about Crew 1. I wish they just, instead of adding so much more on part 2, I just wish you would have just got the racing and the concept you had for part 1 right. You didn't even get part 1 right, and you want to add more stuff to a concept that you just, I'm sorry, that Ubisoft, hey man, come on. If you gonna show up with your new breast, show them or keep your ass at home.
You're gonna show off the Brazilian butt lift. You might as well just have the ass out, huh?
Yeah, start clapping or go stay home.
All right, so Vaughn gives it an F. All right, so I'm with Jack on this one. Ubisoft did have a lackluster presentation. I love Rainbow Six Extraction. I love Rainbow Six Siege. I still play it, and Six Extraction just looks completely awesome and beautiful. And I cannot wait for that. I'm not really sold on the Ubisoft Plus subscription because with all the subscription services, PlayStation has their own subscription, Xbox has their own subscription, Amazon and Amazon Luna, Google Stadium. There are literally so many subscriptions out there that it's almost to the point of why bother. So I'm not really sold off of that.
I mean, I heard him mention the subscription, but I didn't even understand or know what it was for. Like, why would I get this?
Well, the funny part about Ubisoft is they're trying to do what Xbox did with the day ones. Like, if you have Ubisoft Plus subscription, you're supposedly being able to play the games on day one the same way Xbox does. The only thing is Microsoft has a lot more titles coming out on day one than Ubisoft does. So they're trying to get behind Microsoft because Microsoft kind of threw dirt in Sony's eyes last time by taking one of their prized possessions, MLB The Show, and making that available on Game Pass immediately, and pretty much gave Sony the big middle finger 2 E3s ago. But I am looking forward to Extraction. Rocksmith, because Rocksmith, I'm not gonna lie, gets to me because I want to learn guitar. It's one of those passions I have. Like, I am musically inclined. Like, I will depend on people like Jack for music. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of music, but for actual music playing and for instruction, I depend on Jack and several other people that kind of lead me in those directions. But Rocksmith, the reason why I like Rocksmith is because it's different from Guitar Hero. You actually get to learn how to play, and you can actually do so. So yeah, learn the chords, Vaughn. Exactly right.
Tech support.
Say what?
They have YouTube. You got YouTube videos you can watch for free, bro. You don't have to buy that game.
What about wait,
you don't have to buy the game.
Hang on, Mr. Crew Lover. Maybe I want competition. Maybe my competition is me. Can it be me?
Okay.
Can I be myself?
Be yourself, my brother. I'm sorry. I'm trying to save you some money, though. That's all I'm trying to do.
If I showed you the rest of this room right now, you'd be wondering whether you'd be asking yourself, where's your money going? But aside from that,
Rocksmith Plus is also it's a subscription too. It's not just a new Rocksmith game. It's you gotta pay for that. So it's like
wow.
Yeah, which I can understand, because then you're facing DCMA rights and all that stuff. As Vaughn has pointed out, that the almighty DCMA, which keeps us from showing stuff. But aside from that, Jack, I also do agree about Rise Republic. It looks fun, but staying power is the problem. I mean, it's going to have to add on more content. Yes, you'd be able to race or fly or, jetpack it or wingsuit it. It seems like a one and done, so I'm kind of curious to see what they do from there. Watch Dogs Legion, I loved it, so I definitely will be playing Bloodline when that DLC comes out. Just Dance, I will probably be getting that from my nieces and nephews because they do more dancing than I do. Also, Jack, I will tell you that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is definitely great to play. I'm sorry, G. I'm one of those guys that
too much to do,
I get Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I make it my point to not only beat the game in record time, but to complete everything.
Hey, G, you could be like me. Once I'm done with the storyline, I'm done with the game.
But look, man, I get so sidetracked in like the other side quests, man. I never come back around to the main, so I just end up quitting. I'm like,
I can see that. That's my problem with Breath. That's my problem with Breath of the Wild right now. I'm actually playing the first Breath of the Wild, and every other quest is I'm away from the Divine Beast. That's a whole other story. Right. But Jack, I was gonna tell you that Valhalla is definitely good. You're definitely gonna like the Druid DLC, which is actually before this one. So the Druid, they actually have one DLC for Valhalla out right now. The Isle of Druids, which is actually pretty good. Siege of Paris, I'm guessing will be the same thing. So I definitely know I'll be playing it. I am definitely a Far Cry fan. I have been a fan of Far Cry since 3. Love 4, 5. Primal was okay, but 6, just because it has, in my opinion, the greatest actor to play a villain in anything that he does. And to see Giancarlo Esposito play the villain in 6 makes me want to play 6 because I want to stop Gus Fring.
Yes.
It's like I want
He's been Gus ever since that came out, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he has played many roles, but Gus Fring is his Oscar. I'm sorry, Gus Fring is his Oscar. But again, that's just me.
He can't get it when he had the glasses on. And he was his brother in School Days. Come on, man.
School Days. Wait.
He's a Cowboy is an Oscar to me, brother.
Nah, that Gus Fring is an Oscar because Hermanos Homos Poyos. We give excellent customer service. Anyway, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, I am definitely not looking forward to that because last time James Cameron did anything important involved Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, the last thing I'll give about Ubisoft, I'm with everybody on that one. I give it a C. It wasn't great. It wasn't crappy. It just felt like half-assed. So, since we're all C's, 3 C's and 1 F for Ubisoft, so, that says a lot. Going into Gearbox. Gearbox didn't have a lot. They did talk about the Borderlands movie in which Randy Pitchfork decided to go around and try to show the movie and failed miserably. They did talk about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which will actually be out in 2022. They did talk about Tribes of Midgard, which will be out July 27th. They did actually give some news I was looking forward to, that Godfall will have a PS4 launch August the 10th. They did talk about Homeworld, which was one of initially Gearbox's first games, so Homeworld 3 will be coming out eventually. So I'm going to start with you, Jack. Since Gearbox kind of gave a interesting presentation, what do you think about it?
Gearbox didn't need to be there or have a conference, to be honest. They showed practically nothing that we hadn't already seen. We saw the Tiny Tina reveal at Summer Game Fest. Mm-hmm. We saw the Tribes of Midgard at Summer Game Fest. People were, I know, probably hoping to see some stuff from the set of Borderlands. We didn't see anything new there. They showed Homeworld 3, which became a meme because how they would constantly show it after everything.
Right.
Just like it was poorly run. It was poorly produced. They didn't show us really anything of interest at all. It was a trash conference. I mean, I'm excited for Tiny Tina and Tribes of Midgard, but like I said, we just saw the same trailer they'd already showed us, so it was they really didn't need to even be there.
Hey, so you just gonna give a do not report?
Yeah,
you just gonna give a do not report score, which is fair. I'll take do not report.
The conference itself was an F. I mean, like I said, they didn't show us anything of interest, and yeah, it was just trash.
Gotcha. Nothing wrong with that. G, what about you, man?
Listen, can we give this an F-? Is that possible?
You can give it whatever grade you want to. I thought Jack was going to give a do not resuscitate for a second, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they could have gave us like a 5-minute YouTube video.
Okay.
If anything, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, yeah, we saw some decent looking trailers, but it's like, this is E3. We need to see some gameplay. We need some big splashes, but they didn't really give us that. So F- to y'all. Do better next year if y'all can. If not, stay on YouTube. That's it.
All right, Vaughn, I know you were laughing, so go ahead.
No, I was like, what's that Tiny Tina?
Yeah, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. It's basically a take on the DLC Assault on Dragon's Keep.
I'm sorry, that just sounds like the best midget porn title I've ever heard in my fucking life.
You know the sad part is I'm afraid he'll look at a certain site and say you probably be right.
Yeah,
you would probably be right.
I'm sorry that I was laughing so hard when I heard that. I forgot who the fuck we were even talking about. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, y'all.
Gearbox E3. What'd you think about it?
Gearbox. I don't even know who they are. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right. Because I forgot because it's first person shooter. So I'm about to say you probably didn't really pay attention. Yeah, because Borderlands is a first person shooter.
Okay, yeah, I'm not really into first person shooter games, so I didn't pay that much attention to them.
So
because if I did, I would have on my podcast, I would have spent like a good 10 minutes on that Tiny Tina's little.
So we can count you as not worth your time.
No, pass.
All right, that's fair. I mean, I forgot about
my grade is incomplete. I'm sorry.
You'll put us in incomplete. we're going back to grade school. All right, incomplete. Well, for me, Borderlands the movie, the whole Gearbox E3, I have to agree with y'all, all of you guys. It was two of y'all. It was trash. It really was. The whole point of surrounding the movie, keep pressing the movie, keep bringing up Homeworld with very little gameplay, giving a backstory like you're about to do an anime. It just kind of made it sour. But at the same time, I am looking forward to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands because I love Assault on Dragon Keep. I love the whole D&D take they did with that. Tribes of Midgard, which I know Jack and a few other friends of mine, I'm slowly getting into that area to where I can play games like that because it is attractive. I will give that a shot. I'm probably one of the few because I wanted to play Godfall, but I was not about to go camp out for a PS5, nor was I about to go on eBay and pay $1,000+ just to have a system. So I'm so glad that I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it was Gearbox. I don't know if it was Sony, but somebody made the idea to realize, hey, we don't got enough PS5 players to actually maintain or justify the server use on Godfall. So I don't know who made the decision to put on PS4, but thank you because I did want to play another looter shooter because I went as far as I can on Destiny 2 right now until the next chapter. Homeworld, it makes me not want to play it how many times they kept plugging something without actually seeing it. I'm going to be honest with you. But overall, I'm sorry. That is a flaming F that I'm giving Gearbox because how is it that you have it's like the Super Bowl. You have this prime time advertising area and you sit there with a guy with Dorito chips and then flash Doritos. $3 million down the drain. I will not understand that. But it looks like we're all in agreement about Gearbox because right now it looks like it's in the lead right now for worst E3 showing. Naraka Blade Point, like I said before, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's an online battle royale. Think Ninja Gaiden and if Ninja Gaiden and Call of Duty had a baby. So it's interesting.
I kind of want that to happen.
It is. It's called Naraka Blade Point. So I was going to play the trailer here. I actually kind of did a test run, but DMCA blocked it, so I can't show it. I will say that if you're on YouTube, you can definitely look it up. I think it is worth watching. The funny part is there's actually an open beta for it right now that actually goes from June the 16th to the 22nd. So as of today, you have 4 days to actually go online and actually sign up for the beta and actually be able to play it. So in case you're wondering out there, for all those that are watching, if you do want to play Blade Point, at least the beta version, now's your chance. Moving right along, we're going to go into the Xbox Bethesda or Microsoft. I don't know why they call themselves Microsoft. They keep switching every year. Xbox Bethesda, Microsoft Bethesda, you're all the same company now. Just a quick rundown of everything they got. They did actually make the point about Xbox Games Pass for a lot of their games being playable on day one. A lot of them, not all. They did talk about Starfield, Bethesda's new IP, which they didn't actually give a lot of scenes about. That'll actually be out November 2nd. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. I'm looking definitely forward to that game. Back 4 Blood will actually come out October 12th. They actually announced a new IP called Contraband, but didn't really give a lot of information about it. The next DLC for Sea of Thieves, The Pirate's Life, is definitely Disney related because we saw Jack Sparrow in that. They did talk about Yakuza coming to Xbox Pass, Battlefield 2042, which might as well be Call of Duty at this point, because if you've seen the trailer for Battlefield 2042, you might as well call it Modern Warfare 2 at this point. That actually will be out October 22nd. They did actually talk. There were some other games, some indie games that came out. 12 Minutes, that'll actually be out August 19th. Psychonauts 2, August 25th. The next DLC for Fallout 76, Still Rain, will be out July 7th. The next Expeditions, The Pit, also another extension of Fallout 76, will be out in 2022. Party Animals, which is kind of like Fallout, which is kind of like Knockaround Guys, but I guess it's a little bit more interesting. I thought it was pretty cool. Hades, which was actually a game that was on the Switch, will actually be coming to the Xbox August the 13th. They also did talk about Halo Infinite, how multiplayer will be free to play, because let's be honest, everybody's going to open sandbox when it comes to battle royales. Halo Infinite is no different. However, they did announce that Halo Infinite will be able for the holiday season. Another title that was actually announced on the Summer of Games, but also was announced on Xbox, Diablo 2 Resurrected. So if you're a fan of Diablo 2, that also will be out September 23rd. Plague's Tale Requiem, which is a story narrative game, which will be out 2022. Of course, Far Cry 6 we already know about because it's cross-platform. Slime Rancher 2022. Shredders, which is actually a skateboarding game. I think they kind of ripped off Tony Hawk a little bit. That's just my impression. Will be out December 21st. Atomic Heart, which again I'm looking forward to as a 2D side scroller. Replace, also another one, will be out 2022. The expansion for Grounded, which is kind of like that, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, have done in the backyard type of thing. Among Us does have an update, which my nephew plays Among Us, and I'm surprised. He's 5, and he's playing a game talking about everybody's suspect because there's a murder. So I don't know if I should be heavily concerned that a 5-year-old is suspecting people of murder online, but I was told it's fun. Another game I'm looking forward to, Union Chronicles 100 Heroes, that'll be out in 2023, and Rising in 2022. The Ascent, July 29th. Age of Empires 4, The Outer Worlds 2, which had the best commercial ever in E3. Yeah. The Outer Worlds 2 did. Of course, they did bring up Flight Simulator, so I guess some people still play Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hey, whatever rocks your boat. That comes out July 27th. Forza Horizon 5 comes out next year. Redfall, which is actually another game I know you guys are probably going to talk about, coming out in summer of 2022. So, Xbox decided to sit there and say, here's Golden Corral. So, starting again with you, Jack. What did you think of Xbox and Bethesda's E3?
They absolutely killed it. All but 3 of their games are coming to Game Pass day 1, which is insane. And I made a list of all the kind of the top points for me here. And sorry, I may be here for a minute.
No, go for it. It's gonna be a while. Go for it.
Starfield. All we saw was a cinematic, but the fact that it is coming. We got a date, which is November 11th next of 2022.
Yep.
It's cool. I feel like that's a weird, very specific date for it to be that far out, but we'll see what happens there. Very excited to see more on what that is, but obviously that was their big hype moment there, coming out at the beginning and telling everybody that, making the big deal that it's Xbox exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And then Battlefield 2042, it looks super sick. It looks awesome. But the fact that it's going to be a $60-$70 game with no campaign, multiplayer only, I think that's really going to hurt it. But it looks phenomenal and looks great.
Sorry about that.
All good. Maybe whenever it goes on sale or something, if people are playing, if some friends of mine are playing it, I might grab it. But just the fact that it's full price game for multiplayer only, when there's games like Warzone or Halo Infinite coming out and all this other stuff, there's so many other free to play options. I just don't see how it's gonna do. 12 minutes. I'm super excited for this game. I was really interested in it when I saw it 2-3 years ago at E3.
Yeah.
It's been in development for forever. It's got a sick cast. It's got James McAvoy, Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley. That game, I cannot wait for that game to come out. And then there was Fallout 76 with their Steel Rain expansion that's coming out with the Brotherhood of Steel. That looks cool. I haven't really hopped back into Fallout 76 since they added the NPCs and the storyline stuff, but it definitely it got me hyped seeing that. It felt like old school Fallout. So that interested me. And then they teased the Fallout 76 Expeditions, the pit, which I'm not really sure what that is, because it seemed like its own. It's like it's something different from the normal Fallout 76. So interested to see what that's going to be. And there's Party Animals, which is basically a reskin of Gang Beasts, but it looks way more polished. It looks like the controls seem a lot better, and it looks like a fun party game. Interested in that. And there was Somerville. Looks like the story-driven kind of. I don't really know how to describe that game. It was like sort of top-down, but then there was parts where they were like. It was behind them, and there's this family with like some alien invasion or something.
Yeah.
It looked really cool and interesting. Yeah. And then of course there's Halo Infinite, which I think stole the show almost. Just seeing that and how just it looks like what we all remember. Those childhood memories of Halo.
Just bring back the Xbox. Just bring back the Xbox Live chats. Just bring them back.
That's it,
right?
Man.
Getting cussed out by a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I mean they didn't really touch much on the campaign. I'm still that's still kind of iffy based off what we saw last time from the campaign. But the multiplayer alone and it being free to play just looks I can't wait to get in there and play that. All the armor is customizable. You can they've added so much, but yet it looks like old school Halo. It just looks great. And then there's Atomic Heart, which was wild. It looked like a Fallout, but it had like this crazy hype Japanese anime music behind it, and there was like these crazy robot mannequin things. It just it looked all over the place and wild, and I can't wait to find out more about that game. And then there was Replaced, which was this dope dystopian Blade Runner looking 2D game. That game looked beautiful and awesome. Can't wait for that as well. Ayuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes. I actually backed that game on the Kickstarter. I was surprised to see that at Xbox's conference. To be honest,
lucky duck, you don't get it for free.
Not bad.
Well, they still have a. I actually did it after the Kickstarter. They have a store. I can send it to you, Will, if you want, where you can still go and like get the game and like pay for the game essentially. So which is what I did. But I cannot wait for that game from the creators of Suikoden. And that's probably my favorite RPG of all time, JRPG of all time.
Oh yes, I definitely want that because I saw that trailer. I was like, oh yeah, I want to play that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
No, it's all good. I mean, from the makers of my favorite JRPG of all time, so I can't wait for that game to come out. And then they announced this Rising, which I hadn't heard of before, which I'm interested to see what that's going to be. I wonder if it's going to be like a Metal Gear's Ground Zeroes, which they put out before Phantom Pain, or what that's going to be. But definitely excited for those. The Ascent, which was announced a while back, kind of. It was sort of supposed to be around like the launch of the Series X. But at first it just kind of looked like a normal twin stick shooter, but I don't know, something about the trailer they showed. I'm interested, and especially again, it's coming to Game Pass day one, so but if I don't see why you wouldn't at this point get Game Pass, so it'll be there for you to play it if you want.
Right.
And then Forza Horizon 5. Never been big on the Forza games. They're always usually too Gran Turismo like sim games, and I lean more towards the arcadey, racers. But Horizon 5 looks really was one of the first ones that really caught my eye, and I'm really it looks like it'll be a lot of fun.
Wait, Savon. I'm sorry. Wait, Savon.
No, I was saying I was with him on that arcadey. I like arcade racing game.
But yeah, it looks and it just looks fun. Just hop in there with some friends and drive around. It's got some weird modes that showed them like driving through hitting pinatas and stuff, and like create your own crazy game types, and I don't know, it just looks like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And then lastly, they teased Redfall, which it's one of those games that I feel like is going to get lumped in with Rainbow Six Extraction and Back 4 Blood. They're gonna have to try to find their own find their own place in that mashup of all those games and stuff.
Trying to make it different. Make it different from Back 4 Blood, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it looked interesting and cool. But like I said, just love to see how they all fall out when the time comes. But overall, the conference I thought was an A. I was like, I can't. How can I not get Game Pass at this point? Like with all this free stuff they've got coming out.
Oh yeah. It's a strong case. It is a strong. Yeah. It is a strong. It actually did make it a strong case. If you didn't have Game Pass, I had Game Pass for. I have Game Pass almost going on 3 years now. So I mean, it is worth. I'll be honest. It is worth the $60+ a year. And I fear it might. Now, will it go up just because they're doing a lot more content they're adding to it?
It's going to.
It's bound to.
Yeah.
I did not know. I thought it was just about like the backwards compatibility and all that. I didn't know that it was all the new games that you get to play on this one fee. I didn't know about that.
The funny part is they didn't actually start. I mean, at first it was just multiplayer, and then they added in the backwards compatibility for a lot of 360 games. And then that's before, it's kind of weird. PlayStation Now had announced they were going to come up with the fact that you can play the entire PlayStation library. Somehow it got leaked to Microsoft. Microsoft came out with their Game Pass, which included games first. And the weird part was 6 months later, PlayStation Now came out. So it's weird that they were kind of, going off of each other. So what?
They don't do like the new games that they'll do like maybe a month or maybe 2 months after they're being out.
That used to be the
day one.
Well, that's what used to be the case. That's what me and Jack were just saying, that a lot of the games that got announced that I think all but help me out here, Jack. 3 or 4.
All but 3. It was Far Cry. It was like big
titles. So about 3 games I think have their own separate release dates. Every other game itself will be available on Xbox from day one. So the day it's released, they'll be available on Game Pass where you can go play it. Okay. So it does. So it does.
PlayStation Now, but
yeah. So it does add value. PlayStation Now, it's like 2 months, 3 months past its date to where it's actually on there. I mean, they just now put on Star Wars Star Wars Squadrons, and I think that's been out for 4 or 5 months.
That's I think you're talking about PlayStation Plus, which is
PlayStation Plus. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the PlayStation does have their version of Game Pass where you can stream games and stuff, but their collection of games is nothing compared to what Xbox is putting out there.
That's true. But Jack, I'm sorry, Jack. I don't mean to cut you off, dude. So what's the grade you give it for Xbox Bethesda, sir?
It's an A. Like they knocked it out of the park. Like, I mean, if there's so many of their games you can get for free day one on Game Pass, it's like, yeah, I own a PS5, but if I want to play some of these games, I could pay $10-15 a month and get them all free, or I could pay $60 a piece on PlayStation. So like, probably like in a month or two, around the time that 12 Minutes comes out, that's when I'll probably grab Game Pass. But then and then it'll be no looking back at that point.
once you join the dark side.
Yeah.
All right, G. What about you? What did you think about the Xbox Bethesda conference?
Listen, man, this is what a good E3 does for you. It makes you want to go out and rob somebody to get an Xbox Series X or S so you can enjoy all these new games coming in, man. Let me tell you.
Fonda's about to lose it over there.
Oh, man, you caught me mid, like, great with that. I'm sorry. I was like, rob somebody. Whoa, okay. My brother is committed.
Listen, man. That E3 right. Listen, man. That E3 made me want to go. You know what? I know somebody in my neighborhood got an Xbox Series X. I can borrow for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? Borrow for a couple years, right? But listen, I'm surprised, man. Well, I'm gonna get my grade early. A+. I saw this with my son, and both my son and I was like, yeah, we gotta get an Xbox. That was it. And then from there, I'm surprised that so many games is coming out on Xbox. And Willie, I think you and I talk about it in our IG post. The minute that xCloud comes to PC, where it could just stream, with like zero latency, that's the point that Xbox is going to kill the game. You have all of these games coming out on day one, and if they could find a way to get it somewhere close to like Google Stadia, where you could play on your phone, on your laptop, on your TV without the actual hardware for a Series X or S, man, they is going to I'm telling you,
you're right.
It's going to be a wrap.
Once our actual infrastructure is actually built to the point to where we're we're in Korea or we're in China or Japan, or Oslo, Norway, where their internet is just ridiculous. Yeah, it'll be the death of console gaming. It will be nothing but cloud gaming at that point.
Listen, I'm all for it because I'm already enjoying Google Stadia, but enough of that. Better Xbox. But yeah, I'm really looking forward towards a Halo. I've been a long time Halo fan. 12 minutes looks dope. Summer, what's it called? Summer.
Yeah,
Somerville. That looks really nice right there. Hades, never played it, but damn, the hype keeps growing.
It's on the Switch. It's only on the Switch right now. I have it. I'll put this. Let me tell you how addictive Hades is. I bought that thing from the worst place in the world, GameStop. I bought it from GameStop because it's the only spot I could find it at. I did not realize that I could just download it from the eShop. I picked that up, and this is the reason why I know the time so well. I picked up at 8:30 Saturday night. I beat that game sometime between 4 and 5 p.m. Sunday afternoon.
Jeez.
That tells you how long I was sitting on my couch and how annoyed my girlfriend was.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
I'm sorry, G. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good, man. I mean, hey, I gotta play it. It's won so many awards. I'm like, yo, it's for a reason why everybody keeps bringing it up, month after month, right? So boom, gotta get that. I also saw Stalker 2, and then correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it said that all of the gameplay was captured using the actual Xbox Series X, software, whatever, right?
It was catching it. It was catching in full motion on the Xbox Series X.
Man, listen, that joint looks dope. That to me feels like a spiritual successor of Half-Life 2 in a way.
Yeah, I mean, at first when I saw it, I thought it was Metro X. I thought it was on the Metro game. I forgot about. I haven't played. I'll tell you how long it's been since I played Stalker. I haven't played Stalker since Steam. Since the actual game was released on Steam, that was the last Stalker game I played. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's a Metro game." I mean, you heard the Russian dialect, you heard it was around Chernobyl. I'm thinking, okay, so they're going to continue the Metro story, which again, love the series, but when it said Stalker, I was like, "Oh wow, it's been a while." But go ahead, G.
Yeah, and what else? I'm not sure if we talked about it, but and now they're bringing back Xbox Design Lab, so now you can make your own controllers now, which I thought it was a dope concept.
Yeah.
And then too, all of their indie games, damn, they got so many games that I just want to play through on Game Pass. And also I found out that they're dropping all of the Yakuza games on Game Pass as well. And I never had a chance to play those. Battlefield 2042 looks nuts. I mean, even though we know the trailer makes everything looks better, but if they can get close to that, then that looks bananas.
Yeah.
The game that I really want to play is Psychonauts. I don't know why. I find it charming. I find it just overly fun.
Psychonauts is fun though. It is.
Yeah.
It really is fun.
Got to get that. What else, man? I mean, and then you know what? Surprisingly, I want to play Flight Simulator. The point that you could just hop on a plane and just travel anywhere, and the fact that they took like pretty much you can travel all around the world and try out all these like different planes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, it sounds kind of corny, but you know what? It might be all right, especially
it's relaxing to hop on a Boeing 747 and just cruise the Atlantic, son. Cruise the Atlantic
Yo, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what? I just want to see how beautiful the game looks on the Series X. If it looks just as beautiful as a trailer, like that's next level. Like listen, man, it might be a good buy.
Okay.
But you know, overall, I give them an A+. They're really making me want to play Annie Up by MOP. Find somebody out on the street, and you know, yap that fool. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right, Vaughn. What about you? What did you think about the Xbox Bethesda conference?
This will be the point where, you know, you remember that girl from high school. You know, from the front, she's all worn and haggard, many kids. She's walking away from you now, and then you realize, well, shit, at least that ass still fat.
Hey.
Xbox, like, they showed me like some stuff with replaced. Oh, I kept rewinding that trailer over and over again. That the look of it, the animation, it just I'm a big fan of like 2D scrollers still. I'm still like Streets of Rage 4, stuff like that. I'm a big champion of those games now, especially now that they can do so much with the detail. Like you can see the cape flapping and all that, and then he's slicing people up, or she, whatever. I don't know. Still don't know what the character is, but that game caught me. Somerville, that got my attention. It's like some Alan Wake meets Slender Man, Resident Evil a little bit. I was fumbling with that. Forenza caught my attention. That did, and then I realized, oh shit, I don't have an Xbox. I was like, I don't even see myself like going to get one. And then I hear about the Game Pass, and I'm like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that they're coming out with the brand new games that you have to go to the store and pay $60 for? Or 70 now they're about 70. You pay 70, or I can spend $60 or 70, whatever they're gonna raise it to, for 1 year, and I can play these day one. That's what you're telling me. PlayStation. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait on you for a minute. I know you got all that beauty and miles and all that other stuff, but I don't know if I want to spend. I don't even know if I want to still keep spending like $25 a month with GameFly. Yes, I still do that if nobody else does that. But that stuff like that kind of information, that's what I was missing.
It's dope. And
it was fleeting. So I consider this one of the bright spots, and I give it a E for him.
I'm sorry, 56. Can you please repeat that in the form of a question?
You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to get that shit. I'm gonna give it an E for him. Just him. No, real talk. I'm gonna give it a C. I give it a C because like these are just some. It was only a few games, but those few games really stuck with me. So it's enough to make me pay attention, but it's still not enough to make E3 worth the fuck. So excuse my French. That's it.
So you give it a C. Okay. I'm glad
I don't have an Xbox joke landed because I was really hoping for a bigger like landing with the at least the ass still fat. I got to work on that one. I like that one.
You stay with the old prom queen that just washed up. I'm starting to have questions about that, Vaughn.
I'm just saying, everybody knows what I'm talking about. That one girl that you were in love with in the high school, and you seen her lately, and you like, damn, that's what I liked. But the Xbox showing would be, well, at least she still got that ass. So that's all I'm saying.
That's conceding. Anyway, let me go ahead and go into my side of it.
I own it.
I'm gonna go into my side of this. So again, like I said, I'm with Jack. I'm looking forward to Starfield. Stalker 2, definitely interested. Sea of Thieves, it is my guilty pleasure. I've started to play that, and I do like the fact that Jack Sparrow doing a Pirates-like DLC did kind of reel me in. Yakuza, which, I will go ahead and let you know about Yakuza. Definitely play like a dragon. It's definitely fun. Right. Battlefield 2042, just for Twitch purposes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to wind up playing that. Although I'm with Jack on that one. Asking $60, $70 for a game that does not have a main campaign is nuts. But at the same time, people have been doing that with Call of Duty for the last 10 years. Anyway, because last time I checked, I mean, Call of Duty fans can't really say nothing. I'm just going to point that out. 12 minutes, definitely looking forward to that. Fallout, I have never really gave Fallout the time that it's due. I need to because I keep on skipping it because I heard Fallout 76 had some bug problems, not like Cyberpunk 2077 bug problems, but kind of on the close side. Hades, which I will definitely play it again because that was just fun. Somerville, I definitely will play. Halo Infinite, I'm down just because that was before Halo was GoldenEye. Halo was our new GoldenEye. So I'm looking forward to the story and seeing where that goes. Since it's going to be following the Guardian saga. Diablo 2, definitely will be playing that on my new rig once I finish. Just waiting on a few more parts. But I definitely will be playing that on my PC. Of course, Far Cry 6. I'm debating on whether playing that on the Xbox or PlayStation. Atomic Heart replaced. Definitely playing those two freaking games because they look freaking awesome. Ulidan Chronicles, definitely will be playing that. And Rising. Flight Simulator, I mean, it's I'll give it to you, G. Sometimes you just watch a plane in flight over water, and it's just beautiful. Calm. It's a calming effect. All you're missing is lo-fi hip hop as the plane is flying. If you really think about it, you just need some lo-fi hip hop as you're watching a 747 go across the ocean, and you are completely tranquil.
I stick with GTA where I can jump out the plane after I'm all calm and just start violence.
That case, you might just play Battlefield 2042 at that point. But also looking forward to Redfall, and I agree with you, Jack. It is kind of a Back 4 Blood, Rainbow Six kind of feel. They will need that. They will need to make that stand out. Even though it's with vampires and the characters do seem interesting in itself, but I agree with you. More needs to be shown before I'm completely sold, but I'm not exactly against it either. All in all, Xbox and Bethesda and their many indie studios that they purchased, they knocked out of the park. They gave us a buffet, and they pretty much just looked at Sony and said, "Your move," with the middle finger up. So I agree with everybody.
What you gonna do?
I have to give it an A. I give it an A. So aside from Bonds, so aside from Bonds, it seems. Like I said, far
I gave it a C. Oh,
you gave it a C. I'm sorry. So far, it looks like Xbox seems to be the winner so far of this E3. We got a couple things left.
G, real quick with the Yakuza, you will have a great time with it, but the cutscenes are long as hell, and I don't know if you can you skip them now? I believe you can skip them now.
Listen,
not like a dragon.
Listen, if I could stand Metal Gear cutscenes,
say no more.
I'll be good then.
Metal Gear cutscenes were freaking beautiful.
Where you gonna say, Jack? The stuff they showed for Yakuza Like a Dragon, it just looked absolutely bonkers. I was like,
that's why I gotta play it.
It is. When I tell you, it is great. It is like take your favorite martial arts action movie and just tell Jackie Chan to direct it. That's pretty much Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I saw a scene where they was at, I guess, like an adult daycare where all the men and women were like wearing diapers. I'm like,
Yes.
listen, I got to play this now, man. I'm
Yeah.
sold. I'm sold.
I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm just going to say that scene's interesting. But also, moving right along, because we still got a few more before we call it a night. Square Enix was interesting about what they showed. They came out the gate firing with Guardians of the Galaxy game. They did announce about the Final Fantasy 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 being remastered, but it will only be coming to mobile. They talked about the Legend of Mana, another RPG, which will be out June 24th. They did talk about Marvel's Avengers, which has it coming out with a Cosmic Cube expansion, Wasteland Patrol, and of course the long-awaited expansion, War for Wakanda. They did talk about the Hitman Sniper, which is a mobile game. Nier Reincarnation, which is basically a follow-up. Well, actually, yeah, a follow-up to Nier Automata. They did also talk about Final Fantasy War of the Visions, Final Fantasy Brave Exodus, Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, which is kind of old news because all of this we found out previously from the last State of Play, which they announced about Final Fantasy's Remake 7 Integrate. Babylon's Fall, Life is Strange, the Remaster Collection in True Colors will also be coming out. I think they actually said that's going to be out on all platforms now. And then they also introduced the very odd, but yet somehow stuck out to me, Strangers of Paradise, which is a Final Fantasy origin story, which comes out in 2022. So that was Square Enix's showing. Jack, what did you think about it?
It was all right. It wasn't bad. I know it got a lot of crap from a lot of people. Not wanting. A lot of people were expecting a Soulsborne game from Babylon's Fall. It didn't look like that. And then the Final Fantasy, what was it? Origins or whatever.
Oh yeah, Stranger Paradise.
Stranger Paradise, yeah. A lot of people were expecting the same thing from that as well, and both of those look a more Devil May Cry game, which is more at my alley. So I thought they looked pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. I was a bit warmer on them than the consensus was. Guardians looks awesome. Definitely in for Guardians. I wish you had the ability to play as all the characters. Like, right. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it being a single player story thing, but like have them go off on other missions and you play them doing their missions. Just being Star-Lord, like. But it's got a real Telltale like kind of vibes. You like pick. Make decisions for the group and it affects stuff. That looks really cool, and you can control all of them in combat. That looks dope. Other than that, like pretty much those three were the big ones that stood out for me for Square. Babylon's Fall, and I plan on downloading that Final Fantasy demo and trying it out while it's out there, just to see how it is. But
you lucky duck. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's Guardians look good. Babylon's Fall I thought looked good. A lot of people complained about how the trailer looked, but it looked fine to me. But a real Devil May Cry feel. Other than that, not too much more. Other than that, I was really had me hyped or anything. But I'd say overall is probably another high C, low B, somewhere around there.
All right, barely above average. I can live with that. What about you, G?
All right, Square. Dear Square, my friend Square, who brought me into RPG years and years ago, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna give y'all my score, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. So I'm gonna give it a D, because I will not be satisfied, and this is me being selfish, until Square does their damn job and give me a proper remake of Chronos Trigger. They keep redoing all of these Final Fantasy games, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6 for mobile. They're going to be sold separately, so probably like $20 a piece of game. And they keep pumping money into Avengers. Avengers. Why? Nobody's playing the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, listen, all you got to do, give us Chronos. Make it dope, like y'all did with Final Fantasy VII. You know what I'm saying? I
raised my hand and you said, "Who's still playing Avengers?"
Oh, you are. Wow.
I said, be honest. I'm being honest. I still play Avengers because I still want to play War for Wakanda. But go ahead, G.
I mean, hey,
I can play it for free right now, and I don't want to play the month.
Hey man, whatever floats your boat, brother. I am not mad at you, but I gave it a shot. Listen, my son is 10. He played it and he was like, why am I playing this? It's not fun. I'm like,
dang.
Got a point. But I digress. But again, Guardians looks fun. Stranger in Paradise, that the whole it feels like what Jake was saying. I mean, Devil May Cry, like Ninja Gaiden type of action. That's dope. I never played Life is Strange. Has anybody played that? Is it any good?
It's a narrative driven story. It's not bad. It's a certain niche game. It's kind of like it's a more detailed telltale game than anything else.
It would be one of those games, and this is going to sound sexist, but if you have a girlfriend that's like asking, teach me how to play a video game, that would be the video game you would play. Let her play. I'm sorry if it sounds sexist.
Okay. Is it kind of like
backlash to me?
Where is it kind of like the Walking Dead games from
Telltale? A little bit more invasive than the Walking Dead games. It's a little bit more hands-on. They're really trying to go for the emotional storytelling. Think of The Last of Us, except without action.
Ooh, okay.
Like it's all emotional, ripping the heart out type of thing.
It's like a Lifetime movie in video game form.
Yes. There you go. That is perfect. That is a perfect analogy.
Again, direct all to me. I'll take it.
Okay, I got you. All right, but yeah, I mean, I'll keep it short and sweet. I mean, it's a D. Nothing really wowed me, and I won't be until y'all give me Chrono Trigger. That's it.
I'm with you.
Give me the original, man.
I'm with you on Chrono Trigger. Do I think it'll get a remake? Probably not anytime soon. But
why? They need to.
There's no money in it. There's no look.
Come on, man.
Hang on, I'm gonna get to you in a minute. But the thing about it is, it's just like a lot of these things. If it's not enough money, if there's not a following, they 9 times out of 10 won't do it. I mean, look how long it took them to finally do a remake of Final Fantasy VII, and that game is so massive that we only still have part 1. They supposedly have 3 more parts of this coming out.
Stop putting money into the Avengers. The war of Wakanda, the Cosmic Q.
I can't lie. I want to play War for Wakanda. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, I'll play it. I might not enjoy it, but I'll play it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, but Vaughn, what about you, dude? Did you watch the Square Enix conference?
What's going on with my camera? I'm still here, yeah. I'm gonna just go ahead.
Why are you fighting with your camera?
I don't know. Everything is dying on me today, but Square Enix, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I'm just gonna say I couldn't care less, man. I mean, outside of Strangers of Paradise, that caught my attention, but I'm never was a really big fan of the Final Fantasy, so it piqued my attention a little bit, but I'm really just here. I was really there to hear anything about a Just Cause game and fire everybody that worked on part 4 and rehire everybody that worked on part 3.
Vaughn,
but I heard nothing.
Some side story on this, Jack and G. Vaughn hates. No. He loathes Just Cause 4 because Just Cause 3 was his Graceland. He loved it. He loved 3 to death.
It was literally every 80s action movie in the palm of my hands. I could blow up everything I wanted to and anybody I wanted to. And I don't know what happened between then. They just dumbed down the fun on part 4. You
didn't tell them the best part, Vaughn. You didn't sit there and tell them how you pretty much gamefly that as your first game that you were waiting for, and you were so excited to get it, and then the immediate disgust like 3 hours later.
No, my first GameFly game was
no, not your first. That was the one you were really wanting to get. The one you were really trying to get.
I was really hyped about that one, but you're right. Like, and it wasn't 3 hours later; it was 3 seconds later.
Oh dang! I thought it was 3 hours.
It was like Jack. It's like that scene in Family Guy where he was like, he sat down for a movie for like 1 second. Done. That's all it was.
You don't like flying into tornadoes?
No, not at all. And especially when it's like I can't explain it how they sucked out the fun from part 3 to part 4, but they did. I guess it's like how everybody complained about coming from San Andreas to part 4 of GTA. You know, the fun level of that, if I can explain it. But I mean, like I can give it an F because I'm not the biggest Square Enix fan out there anyway. So
okay. Well, for me, I'm with everybody on this one. I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy. It could have been better that I should be able to play at least with Rocket. How dare you give me Rocket in that form and I can't play with him?
I hated how Rocket looked. He looked so stupid. I hated his model.
And I can't even get hyped about the Guardians of the Galaxy because of Marvel Avengers. Like that's why I'm sitting back. I'm holding my twirling my thumbs, waiting.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. A lot of people did have issues. You know, the funny part was I actually did like the rendering of how Guardians of the Galaxy looked. They were a little bit more relatable to their comic book versions, versus the MCU versions, and that is going to be the stick with this because Crystal Dynamics took a risk with Avengers based on how they actually looked. And again, that's always like, yeah, the look of it all, except for Kamala Khan, they got that right. But for everybody else, it was a little bit off. I mean, Captain America looked like the one state trooper that got lost between here and the tarmac. And, you know, the whole thing with Tony Stark. Tony Stark will look like a guy. Tony Stark looked like if Tom Cruise played Tony Stark in the 80s. That's what he looked like to me in the video game. So, I mean, I get that, but it's still going to stop me from playing. I know I'm going to play that when it comes out. As far as Final Fantasy, I pretty much have all the games really on mobile anyway. So it's like, what's the whole point of getting them remastered? I mean, it's the same thing on my cell phone. So, nothing there. Legend of Mana, definitely going to play that because it's one of my favorite RPGs from Super NES, so definitely looking forward to that. Of course, I've already sat there and told myself with Avengers, I will be playing War for Wakanda. With the Cosmic Cube expansion, I will be playing Nier Reincarnation because I love that series. Of course, with the Final Fantasy information that was already regurgitated, but for some odd reason, Square Enix tried to announce it again. Babylon's Fall, kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Life is Strange, because my girlfriend plays it. I'm pretty sure I'll be playing it. Yay. Stranger in Paradise, like I said before, yeah, I agree with all of you guys. It did have it looked less Final Fantasy, more Devil May Cry, more Ninja Gaiden. The only thing I hope that they change is the dialogue of the guy. Because every other thing, what are you here for? I'm here to kill chaos. Okay, that's all I know. All I know is I need to kill chaos. And I kept thinking to myself the entire time, like, okay, maybe they just threw this in there for just space. This isn't the game. I pray this is not the guy's dialogue in the game. But
I guarantee it's going to stay.
I hope not. I just can't see every time. Why are you here? I'm here to kill chaos. I'm like, unless you have like a 1980s montage playing in the background as he's slaying everything, I just don't see the point. But I'm still gonna play it though. Square Enix was a little bit on the disappointing side for me. So I mean, it wasn't great. They could have came out. I mean, like we were talking about at the beginning of this podcast. If they didn't have anything new to announce, then it should have not been done here. It's wasted airtime. It could have went to somebody else. And at the same time, it doesn't make Square Enix look that good. So my grade on it is a C. So for our intents and purposes, it sounds like Square Enix could do some upgrading.
I mean, to be fair though, like Square Enix was one of the few conferences where we actually saw quite a bit of gameplay.
True.
Like, I mean, granted, the announcements and stuff weren't that amazing or anything, but they were one of the few where actually we saw gameplay as instead of just a bunch of cinematics. And then like the way they handle some stuff too, like they announced the War of Wakanda, and then they didn't give any dates or anything until like a blog post or something after. It's like, why isn't that in your conference? That's important information. But whatever.
No, it's a fair point. Okay, so moving right along, I'm going to combine the next two because these are by far one I'm not surprised about because it's Capcom. The other one I'm surprised about because it should have been a CES show. So I'm going to ask everybody around the round table about Capcom and Razer, how you felt about it. Capcom didn't really give a lot of information. They talked about Reverse, which is just a multiplayer online for Resident Evil, because I don't know who asked for multiplayer in Resident Evil, because last time I checked, a survival horror game doesn't have multiplayer, but somebody asked for it. They also did talk that, of course, of Resident Evil Village, which, again, is a great game. You haven't had a chance to play it. DLC is in production for it, just like 7 Biohazard. It's probably bound to have at least 3 DLCs. If you have not played Resident Evil Village, it is definitely worth playing. They did talk about Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin, which will actually be out on the Switch, exclusively for the Switch. I currently have Monster Hunter Rise and love it. So Monster Hunter Stories 2 should probably be the same way. And of course, a really niche game that did come from Japan, but also over to our side of the world for once, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is really more about deductions as a lawyer and solving cases. That comes out July 27th. Now, Razer decided to join E3 for reasons beyond my comprehension, about explaining that they will be coming out with a few things. They will be coming out with the Razer Blade 14, which is a relaunch of one of their more popular thin laptop series, except this will be coming out with an AMD Ryzen processor, which, because of Razer saying that this was actually asked, that their latest laptops did come with AMD, which is going to be different from the Intels that they were actually using. They also did announce of new Razer monitors and also Project Hazel, which was their take on N95 masks that they'll be doing. So, Jack, I'm going to start with you, dude. So, from Capcom and Razer, what did you think about both of those showings?
To be honest, I didn't even know Razer had a conference. And even if I did know about it, I probably wouldn't have watched it because it was probably going to be hardware related. But see, what was the? Let's see. I mean, yeah, Resident Evil Village. I mean, we knew there was going to be, all probably just DLC talk there, which is basically them just saying we're starting DLC. That was about it. Monster Hunter Stories 2 looked like a Pokemon game, but with monsters.
It pretty much is, but yeah.
Yeah. Not too familiar with the Monster Hunter, but I mean, looked fine. I'm sure there's an audience for it. I know people love Monster Hunter, so the Great Ace Attorney actually caught me off guard. I was surprised at how interesting that looked. Sort of those deduction, solve it, not puzzle solving, but like a sort of like real world, the Sherlock Holmes games and stuff like that, where you gotta, it's up to you to kind of just make a decision and figure out who did it, stuff like that. But
right.
Those appeal to me. So that looked interesting. They did go on way too long about Street Fighter and their competitive Street Fighter stuff.
I kind of skipped that, but go ahead. I skipped that part.
I was hoping for maybe some new Street Fighter news, but no, it's just all their esports stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Capcom. I would say it was a D. It was nothing really wowing or new or nothing that we really didn't expect. I mean, I would have loved some Mega Man news or something, right, or something something cool along those lines. But not really much of anything.
All right.
Preach, Jack. Preach.
All right, so Garrett. Everybody's having webcam issues tonight. Garrett.
Really?
So G, what about you as far as Capcom and Razer?
Listen, man. I think Capcom didn't care about us at all. Flat out, I'm gonna give them an F because they gave us Street Fighter Esports Edition. I don't think a lot of us care about that. They gave us some detective games. I mean, I never played them before with the Ace Attorney back on with Nintendo, right? So this didn't make me want to get it and like Jake was saying, Jack was saying, it went on for too long, for like what, 30 minutes? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that could have been about 5 minutes or less, right? Resident Evil, okay, I get it. The game is great. Everybody's loving it. Y'all ain't got nothing new to show. Save it for later. That was it. Nothing. No new Mega Mans, no new Devil May Cry spinoffs or anything similar to that. Just nothing. So they get an FU from me. So they get an F.
Dang.
Yeah. Regarding Razer, I mean, I'm not a PC guy. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars, working on a rig. So I missed out on Razer altogether. So I guess I'll give them a omit my grade for that.
Just omit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Vaughn, did you watch Capcom or Razer?
I'm willing to bet the people giving the presentation from Capcom is the one, are the people that everybody hates in the office. And they needed an excuse to get them out the office. And it's like, it would be spending a lot of money, but they really want to do it, and we fucking hate them. But they're the boss's kids. Let's just tell them tell them that they can go to E3. We don't have shit. I don't care. I just really want them out the fucking office. But even if it's just for 2 weeks, I'm saying, dog, that would make a better excuse than this bullshit as, they wasted money. Tell me I'm lying. Somebody.
Dang, you ain't
I'm
lying.
Like, what you say?
Nah, you ain't gonna. No, go ahead. You ain't lying.
Like, everybody in here is saying the same thing. Devil May Cry. You could even gave me a new version of the Devil May Cry that everybody hates. Something. Like, bro,
Devil May Cry mobile. Something.
Come on, man.
It'd be something. But
it would be something, man. But I know I'm long-winded with these, but man, this is, again, I am that kid. I feel like this was once a big part of my adult growing, young adulthood. That's when I got a chance to really see these. And now this shit is just sad. Like Capcom, it's basically them laughing at us. We don't have shit, but we still here.
So is it safe to say that you give Capcom a big FU?
Thank you.
Okay, that's fair. I'm kind of with you guys on that one. Capcom should have never really said anything. They really didn't have a lot to show. That should have been an F off the bat. You had 2 games in development, and then you're going to talk about your Pro Tour, which could have been done at any other time, but you chose E3. So that's definitely that on my part. Not mad at Razer. Just to give you guys some, I mean, there for all those that know, there is a large AMD crowd out there. I mean, I'm an Intel person. I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's no red and black here. Whether you're Intel or AMD, there's no right or wrong. It depends on your preferences, just like NVIDIA and Radeon. Because now Radeon stepped its game up, so it doesn't matter about video cards, it doesn't matter about processors, but a lot of people did want AMD processors in their Razers, and I like the fact they're bringing back the Razer Blade 14 back, because that was one of Razer's most popular laptop models, and one that I have somewhere in these boxes behind me. But somewhere. I gotta go digging later. But anyway, Capcom really was an F. Razer, that should have been at the CES. That should have been at the Consumer Electronics Show. Why was it at E3? Made no sense. So Razer is going to get an omit from me, just because, why? I mean, you could have done that. That's one of those, it could have been an email type of things, honestly. You don't have to sit there and do a whole 20, 30 minutes of, here, let me show you this thing that's in front of me that has an AMD processor.
Again, somebody in the office needed an excuse to get him out.
Pretty much.
All the developers looking around like they don't even go here.
Right. Now, I do have to get to this shining jewel because we have a few. We have 3 other conferences. Well, actually 2. Well, actually 2.5. Bandai Namco, which I'm just gonna go ahead and say out right now. Bandai Namco, if you're going to give us one game, don't be at E3. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Dark Pictures House of Ashes looks like a great horror story narrative game. but that's all you had. You literally made people wait 2 hours on a stream to show 15 minutes of one goddamn game. It's not even worth mentioning. But
yeah, I mean, I would even consider that a conference. Like I'm pretty sure they said that they were just doing that. So I mean, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know why it was lumped in with E3.
It was good. It was good and terrible to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the next because aside from Xbox, Bethesda, Nintendo decided that their Treehouse Direct was gonna be a golden corral of games, and I was surprised about Nintendo first showing off that Kazuma from Tekken was gonna be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. How they made a joke about him tossing everybody off the cliff, which I thought was funny. They did talk about the cross-playing games, Life is Strange series, Marvel Gardens of the Galaxy was also coming to Switch. They talked about Worms Rumble, which actually looked like a great game. They talked about Austria Ascending, which also looked like a great game to me. They talked about another game, 2 Point Campus, which is actually a Sims game. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania, which is also very fun to play, also coming to the Switch. Mario Party Superstars, Metroid Dread, which was surprising that we actually got an announcement of a Metroid game, which will actually be out October the 8th. Of course, Just Dance cross-platform be 2022. Bond's game he's looking forward to. Cruising Blast, which reminds me of Cruising USA with guns, will be coming to the Switch. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which was the Dragon Ball Z game everybody swore was better than Dragon Ball Fighters. I beg to differ. Will also be coming to the Switch. Mario Golf Super Rush looks fun as all get out. I'm definitely getting that. Also, they did explain about Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin, also cross-play. WarioWare, which is a new game that's coming to the Switch. Another Wario game, which we haven't had in a very long time, will be coming out. Also, Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is another Japanese import. If you've never played any of the Tensei series, think of it like Gundam meets Zone of the Enders. Danganronpa Decadence, also another Japan RPG, coming to Switch. Fatal Frame, Made in the Black Water, if you like the Fatal Frame series, will also come to the Switch. They are releasing the Doom Eternal, The Ancient Gods Part 1 DLC to the Switch. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 will be coming to the Switch. Strange Brigade, also another interesting game, will be coming to the Switch. Of course, Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope will be available on Switch. Advance Wars, which is a very old JP game, will also be coming to the side. Our side of the world will be coming to the Switch. Two other things I'm looking forward to: Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion, the first wave of the Pulse of the Ancients, the second wave Guardians of Remembrance will be coming out. Also, a Game & Watch with those little handheld things. I cannot wait for that thing to come out because it's going to have 3 original Legend of Zelda games. And yes, I will pay this. I think what those Game Watches are like $50-$60. So I definitely will be paying to get that. And my personal favorite, the kibosh on the whole thing, the thing that made Nintendo Treehouse Direct worth watching, that they did announce we would get a Breath of the Wild sequel in 2022. And that made me feel fulfilled. So, again, Golden Corral. So, Jack, what did you think about the Nintendo Direct Treehouse?
It was really good. It had a lot of stuff for pretty much everybody almost. We saw Guardians, of course, coming to Switch. I don't know how that's going to run on the Switch. It's got to be probably coming out for the Switch Pro eventually, which I was expecting we'd hear something about the Switch Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised we didn't. But that makes me wonder, how far it is till that comes out. But I thought Astria Ascending looked really cool. They showed it for like 2.5 seconds. Mm-hmm. But what I saw of it looked really cool. Very similar sort of to Replaced, but a different setting, different aesthetic. I think it had some like JRPG turn-based stuff with it, maybe.
Yeah.
If I recall. And then Mario Party Superstars is what sold the whole conference for me. I was super stoked for Super Mario Party. It came out, and then there was like 4 levels or something. It didn't have a lot of replayability. This is going back to the old school N64 Mario Party. with old levels and old games and stuff. Can't wait to almost get a divorce with my wife playing that game. Ruining a bunch of friendships.
That ruins friendships and marriages, sir.
Yep. Then they said they're working on Metroid Prime 4 and showed Metroid Dread, which Metroid was before my time. Was a bit before my time. I never played any of the Metroids growing up, but Metroid Dread looked very, very cool, exciting. Super Mario Mario Golf Super Rush. Mario nails these.
That's also going to end friendships. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, Mario. I mean, they're wacky sports games. They knock them out of the park all the time. Can't wait to play this. Looks got a campaign story mode almost where you play as your Mii. Looks dope. And level up and stuff. And then WarioWare, another one of those games that I never got to play with the older versions, but I've seen it, I've played, and they always look crazy and just way out there and super fun. So I can't wait to get my hands on that one. Shin Megami Tensei, I've never played one, but I've heard great things about the series. It looked very dope, almost a Pokemon-esque vibe, collecting demons and stuff, and then you can fuse them into make other demons. And, looks wild. So definitely interested in that one. And then as far as Legend of Zelda goes, I'm probably in the minority here. Don't care about Breath of the Wild. I didn't grow up with Legend of Zelda. I've never.
But if you
really...
get a copy, just think of me. I'm just saying, if you come across a copy,
yeah,
I just ask for consideration. That's all I ask.
If you out to dinner, someone throw one at your face. I mean,
yeah, I mean, everybody loves Legend of Zelda, but I mean, I didn't grow up playing it. I played Ocarina of Time, like the first level of it, basically till you got to the tree, and those little spiders dropped down and scared the shit out of me, and then I was done. And I just never, like I said, never grew up with the series, never really developed that love for Zelda. I mean, I appreciate it for what it is, but not my cup of tea. So, everybody was stoked for that Breath of the Wild 2, news, and I just not my thing.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
But the conference as a whole, solid A conference. Like I said, great stuff for everybody. Some great stuff to look forward to, building on their brands and franchises and stuff. And then the fact that a lot of their stuff, like this fall, it's like a game a month almost, just boom hit coming out for Switch. So good on them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, G, what about you? Because I know you saw the Metroid Dread, and it was like,
listen, lost my damn mind, man, when I saw Metroid. I mean, for one, like, we haven't got a 2D Metroid in how many years now?
Going on
almost 20,
12, 13 years.
I thought it was longer than that.
And then in that time, Metro has let all these other Metrovania games like catch up to them or even like surpass it. So I'm ready to see how Dread kind of differs from the previous installments of the Metroid franchise. But it looks interesting. So I'm happy about that. I'm glad that they're coming back for me to try to play out again. Of course, Breath of the Wild 2. What can we not say about Breath of the Wild? I mean, damn. The game was just fun. For those of us that love that genre of like adventure gaming, like this was like the epitome of it.
I better not talk about Breath of the Wild. I was told that I shouldn't play Breath of the Wild if I enjoy being in a relationship. So, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of went through that too. So, I would sneak out, but like, baby, you up? All right, let me roll up real quick. Play some Breath of the Wild.
there were a couple of times I did sneak out to the living room to go play, but unfortunately, the surround sound system you've got was turned on. The moment that thing comes on, shit.
Yo, listen, I mean, the game looks fantastic, and the fact that we're getting this on an older version of the Switch now, and it still looks this beautiful on it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm still surprised that they did not announce a different version of the Switch. Like, we can only imagine what they're going to do with it. But I digress.
I think they were, not to cut you off, but I think they're wanting to avoid the PS5 Xbox Series problem. Were they shortchange the inventory? But when they tried to say there was production issues, there was no production issues. You wanted to make max profit. So I think Nintendo doesn't want to do the same thing.
I mean, they very well could be dealing with the chip shortage too that PlayStation and Xbox are dealing with.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point. What else? I still don't see why we're getting a Zelda. What is that? Skyward Sword HD Skyward Sword remake with the user controllers so you can swing and block.
I play with the controller. I said bump that. I am not doing. I'm not going to sit here in front of my screen like I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna take a controller and I'm going to sit here and play it the way that nature intended.
Mm-hmm. See, there you go.
Nobody asked for that.
Yeah, nobody asked for the Wii motion controls. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll still play Wii bowling to death because that challenges relationships. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, G.
Oh no, you won't point, man. I mean, but yeah, it's like they keep bringing it up. It's like nobody is asking for this. Mm-hmm. But anyways, Hyrule Warriors, the expansion pack that looks crazy fun. Got to try it out. Smash Brothers, like what? Once more, adding a new character. What is it? Kazuya?
Yeah,
is that how you say it? Yeah. Like he looks still like it looks like you're playing Tekken with him all the way. So that's fun. Shin Megami, to me, I was getting like Pokemon vibes from it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, not too interested. Once more, I said it during the Ubisoft conference, Mario Rabbids. Got to play that. Love that game so much. I mean, to me, I'm a big XCOM fan, so this was like right up my alley. So it's dope. WarioWare, that's what me and my son could play. Listen, Advanced Wars, that was one of the games that I played on the I want to say the 3DS or the DS.
It was on the it was on Nintendo DS. You're right.
DS, right? Yeah. So that's another game that I gotta buy again. The third or fourth time, you know what I'm saying? Monster Hunter, not too big on it. I ain't giving no mind. Mario Golf, another game that me and my son got to play. No More Heroes 3. I'm seeing the trailers. They look cool, but I want to see some actual gameplay. Guardians, I'm on the fence. Like, how's that going to run? Going to look on the Switch? That would have been better for the Pearl. And then lastly, I want to see more about this 2 Point Campus. Like that looks like a fun, a fun game, to crush a couple hours on.
I call it a Sims game. That's what it reminds me of. It's like Sims under a different name to me.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, overall, I give them a B. Well, I give them a B plus. Like what Jack was saying, like they got games for everybody.
Yeah.
In this conference, which is cool. So they're hitting all markets. I just wish that they could have gave us, some possible Switch 2 details, but we pretty much know COVID has affected everybody and the console making business.
Right. All right, Vaughn. I've been waiting for this.
Hold on. Hi, my name is Ashley Devon Witherspoon, and I am a man. And like many men, we make damn mistakes, okay? I came in ready to let it be known that Nintendo had failed me once again. But I was wrong. It took me looking at that damn cruising trailer, and I was like, oh my God, they bringing it back. And I know a lot of people don't care about it, but me, I love cruising because for a person that can't drive worth the shit in video game and racing games, it made me feel like I can actually drive. Plus, I don't know about you guys, you was kind of a player if you was on a date, you know what I'm saying, at a restaurant, and they had the little 2 arcades, you know what I'm saying, you had your girl playing, I wasn't a player. I never got a chance to get that shit done. But now it's coming out, and me and my wife, I'm finally be able to be that player that can play the game with his wife. I'm so happy about that. And that's what made me like that and the sequel to Breath of the Wild. I was like, Jack, I have never given a damn about a Zelda game. From childhood, I didn't like how it played. I'm like, Mario, it just runs straight forward. Zelda, I don't like how it moves. I don't like this. But I clicked on it. I'm like, I don't give a damn. I know just, and I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, Oh my God, it is fantastic.
You got swept up in the beauty.
I was like,
you got swept up.
I'm like, that's gonna be running on a. That's gonna be running. And I'm gonna be honest, unless Nintendo gives you like a $50 upcharge or whatever, and I plug my Nintendo Switch into the internet and it upgrades it, I don't give a damn that they ain't talking about no Nintendo Switch because I ain't trying to pay for another console. I'm trying to figure out, do I want a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox? I don't need PlayStation fucking with me and bringing in the Pro. So I'm happy you ain't come out with that news. I'm sorry. But Metroid Dread.
That commitment is killing me. That commitment is killing me.
No, Metroid Dread is in the same category. I never cared about it, but the look of Metroid, man, that was the fact that it has kind of like that. Double Toaster pointed out that it has kind of like a nemesis where you're going to be chased by a person that you can't do nothing to. You got to get away. And looking at the trailer, it initially made me just, okay. And then it's 2D, great detail. So those games alone, Nintendo, I'm gonna give it a B.
I accept the apology that I got on recording, so I feel better.
Hey man, I apologize, man. We be wrong, man. People make mistakes. You see Soulja Boy famous.
With that being said, I kind of gonna echo what you guys have been saying. I'm looking forward to Super Smash Bros. To Kazooie and Smash. I'm looking forward to Austria Ascending, Mario Party Superstars, Mario Party Superstars in golf. Definitely looking forward to Worms Rumble, which was surprising to me. Metroid, definitely playing that. And of course, the only one I can point out, aside from Strange Brigade, which is definitely an interesting game, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. But yeah, I'm Legend of Zelda. Aside from the lack of Switch Pro news, which I knew that wasn't going to happen, but to see Breath of the Wild and that cinematography, and it looks like it's going to be in the skies above Hyrule, still in the
beautiful, beautiful.
I can't. I was like, I damn near cried, and my girlfriend looked at me and said, "Are you crying?" I said, "Yes." I have no problem admitting that right now. I am crying about how beautiful this goddamn game is. So overall with Nintendo, I give it an A. So the last one that we got, guys, we have to talk about the redheaded stepchild in the room, Devolver Digital. If you've never seen a Devolver Digital E3 conference, strange is a very underutilized word for Devolver Digital. Because they like to make fun of the video game community and they like to make fun of showcases. This year was no different, but they did actually present some games they're doing. They even made a joke about the subscription services, which I thought was, I gotta give them credit for this. The fact they call the Devolver Digital Max Pass Premium Purchase, which a lot of people, myself included, looked this up and did not realize that it was a joke the entire dang conference. Everybody thought that the prescription service was real. Devolver Digital was making a big-ass joke. And from there, they did actually go into a few games. Trek to Yomi, which is kind of like a black and white, old-school samurai Bushido type game. That'll be out in 2022. Phantom Abyss. Wizard with a Gun, which looks really fun just from the trailer. Death's Door, also another fun one. That'll be out July 20th. Inscription, which is an interesting tabletop game I thought was pretty cool. Will be out sometime this year. And then they have Tumble Time and another game I'm interested in that kind of reminds me of the old school NES shooter games like Contra called Demon Throttle. But that's all the games they actually have for Devolver Digital outside of the crazy over-the-top production they do of making fun of the video game industry. So, being this is our last one, Jack, what did you think of Devolver Digital's conference?
Their conference really surprised me. Like, I know yearly they're crazy over the top, like ridiculous. but it was just a little too ridiculous for me usually. This year, I think they hit a really good stride where it was funny and offensive and satire against the gaming world and very big and like not what you've seen for a regular conference, but it was still digestible for normal people. And while they didn't show a ton of games like a lot of the other developers and stuff, like what they showed was really good, and they packaged it around a really fun half hour to an hour of entertainment. Like it was, even though they didn't show a lot, it was still fun to watch. Trek to Yomi was one of the highlights of entire E3 for me. That game looks amazing. It looks like if Ghost of Tsushima was in black and white and a 2D game. Like it looks gorgeous.
Right.
And then Wizard with a Gun looked dope. Looked very fun and interesting. They had Death's Door, which is looks very similar to one of those Hades type games.
Yeah.
Like a hack and slash, dash around, roguelike-ish type games. Inscription looked crazy and just bizarre as hell. I don't even really know what that's, some sort of deck building game, but it's got like a horror elements and like I don't know, it was wild.
It looks cool. It
Yeah.
looks really cool to me.
They also before showed Shadow Warrior 3, which is basically a Ninja Doom reskin, basically.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's the cataclysm of what you expect in a battle royale.
Yeah, and Phantom Abyss looks like a first-person sort of Fall Guys, Indiana Jones type game. Looks interesting. Don't know if I'll play it or not. If it comes to Game Pass, maybe. But yeah, like I said, I thought their conference was great. It was fun. The games they showed looked good. They showed quite a bit of gameplay, and just I think they knocked it out of the park for real.
Cool. What grade do you give it?
I'd probably say a B, just because while it was great production, it was fun, it was funny, but there wasn't a game that just like blew me away. Trek to Yomi looks amazing, but it wasn't enough to push it into that A category. But aside from that, it was solid all around.
Cool. All right. What about you, G?
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I completely missed this conference. So as you was talking, I was looking at Trek to Yoma, and damn, that game looks crazy.
Yeah,
like it looks like Ghost of Tsushima, 2D scrolling, but it looks very detailed, and I like the whole black and white feel to it as well. So I mean, listen, that in itself right there makes me like, all right, cool. Maybe I want to go back and watch it for myself, for the jokes and see everything else. But I mean,
you're gonna be, just to cut you off, but
yeah,
you're probably gonna get tired about the second or third one. The second and third skit, you're gonna start skipping, and it's okay.
Okay. I'll still check it out. But I mean, hats off to them for always giving us quirky, fun games that you could play anywhere, like on the Switch, on your PC, whatever. So I want to see big things coming from them. Period. I like seeing indie companies like this do games where they're just fun.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to think, what was that game where you're a samurai and you could slow down time when you're fighting people? But that came from the
Afro Samurai, or are you talking about Metal Gear Solid Revengeance? Because both of them have that ability.
Or the Ghost, is it like Ghost Runner or something like that?
Not Ghost Runner, but it was a 2D scrolling game, and you're a samurai with amnesia. But whenever you play a level,
like Katana Zero or something like that, or
that's it, Katana Zero.
Like that,
yeah. Now, if y'all haven't played that, try that. And that was published by Devolver, and that was made by one person, and that game is phenomenal. So that's why I respect them so much for giving us games like this.
Okay. So I'm going to come back to you, because I said, well, let me base this, since you saw Trek to Yomi. I know you didn't get to see the rest of the games, but what if you had to grade off one game? What did you think? How you think Devolver did?
I give it an A. This off of that right there.
Okay. Vaughn, what say you?
First off, I'm gonna say, Mr. G, I really applaud your honesty because I was doing the same shit. Right about now, I'm looking at Wizard with a Gun, and I want to play it because I don't understand it.
That's how I get
It's like it's one of those weird games that's top down, and it's it's a wizard with a gun. Mm-hmm. That alone, I want the movie too, as well. But I wasn't that familiar with them. I'm looking at Shadow Warrior 3 as well, and tech support knows I don't do first person, but I'm willing to. I'm like, this is one of those games that I'm willing to buy those funny looking glasses to play. Would you say blue blockers?
Blue filter lenses.
I need to get the blue.
Where did blue blockers come from?
I don't know. It was something with blue in the title. Shit, you know, all right. But I'm not that familiar with these guys, but I definitely have to go back and check it out, man, because I'm down for anybody that's making fun of the establishment as well. So
okay, so I'm gonna pose the same question to you. Since you saw Wizard with a Gun and you had to grade Devolver Digital off that, what grade would you give him?
I give him an A because I've never seen a game like that looks like that. It's kind of different to me.
All right.
To me, speaking personally.
Well, I'm kind of on the same fence with Jack. I love Trek to Yomi. That gave me Ghost of Tsushima vibes. Phantom Abyss looks like a Pitfall Indiana Jones type thing that, you know, you're watching other people fail as you're trying to get through, which I love. That's different. Wizard with a Gun, Death's Door, both of those games got my attention. Inscription, this is probably the first time I'll be looking forward to playing a Devolver Digital game that's a survival horror that looks like it's mixed with D&D at the same time, where literally the dungeon master may kill you. But I'm looking forward to that. And Demon Thrall I'm looking forward to as well. So overall, I do like the fact that Devolver Digital always goes different from everybody else. But again, the whole over-the-top thing of just making fun of the video game industry kind of took away from the games themselves a little bit, but I'd still give it an A- as far as the overall conference goes. So with that being said, guys, as we're getting close to wrapping this up, just go around the table. Who had the best E3 conference?
Microsoft, baby.
All right. Jared says Microsoft. Jack, what'd you say?
Microsoft.
Vaughn?
I'm alright with Nintendo.
I'm stuck. I'd say Xbox, Bethesda, and Nintendo. Just because they both showed out. They both gave us the golden corral of games across the board. They both answered some questions and then at the same time didn't answer some questions, which was fine. But overall, those two stole the show at E3 for both of me.
I respect your right as an American to make that decision, sir.
I'm stuck. I can't choose one or the other. Okay, who had the worst E3?
We didn't even talk about Koch Media.
I forgot about Koch Media.
It was 2 hours just talking of developers talking and maybe one game they showed.
Oh, dang. I completely forgot about that one.
It was forgettable.
Oh, dang. Okay.
I'd say them and Gearbox had the two worst conferences in my opinion.
All right. G, Vaughn?
Who
Capcom.
That's it. That's it.
I'm like, damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Fuck happened to you?
That's it.
The 50 Cent reference. Capcom, you was the man. No.
It was a man. Look at him now.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can argue that. I'm sorry, G. Who you say had the worst? Who you said the worst E3? G.
Capcom. They get a big FU from me.
It's a 3-way tie for me. Capcom, Bankai, and I'm gonna go ahead and hate to say this, Square Enix. Those three had the worst E3 showings. For various reasons, but just those three, it just felt like they, you just showed up to just show up. You're like that guy that just barely passed graduation with a D, but you're cool with it. But that's what it felt like. So last question before I get around to seeing anything else we missed. Who should have never came to E3 this year?
Whoever Jack mentioned.
I didn't realize that was a category. Then that would definitely be Gearbox.
Okay. G?
Who should have stayed home?
I'm talking about when they got the invite, they just sat there and just said pass.
I would give it to Gearbox too. It could have been kept.
They had a character from their movie that was on camera that they blurred out that they would not show.
That is very true. Vaughn, what about you?
That company was Koch, whoever. Like, why are you there? Nobody's even talking about you. Stay home, please. I don't even. Come on.
Okay.
Do stuff a favor.
And I'm the same way. Gearbox should never shown up. You really didn't show anything new. Your movie, you didn't really promote that well. And let's be honest, nobody likes Randy Pitchfork. So that pretty much does it for E3. I know IG Games did have Summerfest, and you're probably wondering why we didn't mention that. Well, because a lot of the games that IG Summerfest did put out, we actually did mention mostly in each of these conferences. But unless you guys had any games from IG Summerfest that you wanted to point out, anybody?
I'm surprised you guys didn't want to talk about Elden Ring.
God, thank you.
Man.
I'm getting hungry. That's why I was like, when I get hungry, I start forgetting shit. Thank you, Jack. Elden Ring, yes. I was about to end this podcast and now you're talking about Elden Ring. God dang it. Okay. Yes. Definitely looking forward to that because everybody looks at it and immediately thinks Dark Souls. I don't think it'll be a Dark Souls difficulty. I don't think, because I love Dark Souls. Did I cuss every level out until the very end? Yes. Did I have to get up, go outside, and go walk to the mailbox and come back just to get the anger out of me? Yes. Did my dog get mad at me for getting walked 6 times in one night? Yes.
I already take blood pressure medicine. I don't need that kind of smoke in my life.
I refuse to be a quitter. That's my problem. Like if I in Scholar of the First Sin with Dark Souls, it took me a good 3 months to beat the first part.
Oh my god!
But I was determined. But Elden Ring, I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be on the level of texture, of gameplay, of graphics. But I don't think it's going to be that difficulty because people are finding out that there's not a lot of money in difficult games. Because if they think it's difficult, nobody's going to play it, and then of course nobody's going to want a sequel.
You want replay value, baby?
Yeah, replay value. I mean, it's just like Burnout. I mean, I would love another Burnout game, but after Paradise, where do you go with it? I mean,
make a better game.
Well, I mean, what's left?
You
didn't like Paradise?
I love the Burnout series, but Paradise just wasn't. Didn't enjoy it.
Down to the Paradise.
Because I feel like Burnout Paradise was like the crown jewel. I mean, it was pretty much takedowns. It was races. It was hunt on site, and then you had the time trials, and then you included motorcycles. I'm like, what more could you go with? I mean, even Need for Speed, for the last couple of things they tried to do, Rivals, Payback, and then an updated Need for Speed, and they tried to come out with another Most Wanted again. It's like, I hate to say it, it's kind of like Fast and the Furious. You can only do so much racing until you have to do the next thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I would love to see another Burnout, but where do you go?
Tech support. I got to work in the morning, so I'm gonna have to cut out, bro.
That's fine. I know. I thank you, man. We're about to wrap it up. Anyway, but thanks for being on, though, man.
Peace out, y'all. Hey.
All right, but
all right, man.
But yeah, it's just a lot of that as far as that goes. It's just like I said, I would love to see another Burnout game. It's just where do you really go from here on that? But besides Elden Ring, did I miss the other games, guys? Because like I said, I'm kind of getting brain dead, so I don't want to make sure I covered everything.
I'm not sure. I know I played that Elden Ring trailer like back to back like 3 times. I was like, it looks so weird and so fantasy like. I'm like, listen, if this game is nothing short of God level fun, it's a failure in my eyes.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it just because it just looks effing beautiful. But if I didn't miss any games, like I said before, guys, we're gonna definitely go ahead and call it here. That was our take on.
everybody, Joe on Git Bit. So, I'm here to talk about E3. Unfortunately, I have been preempted for other reasons, so I will not be on the show tonight. Thank you, Will, for let me record. He's popping this in so you guys can hear my thoughts. So, E3 overall, and we're going to go into specifics, but E3 overall was kind of lackluster this year. They're still trying to make up for lack of an E3 last year. I just couldn't get into it. There were certainly some highs, certainly some lows. But overall, I thought it was a pretty meh year in the grand scheme of things. Nothing really captured my attention. Certainly not some of the things. I wasn't there for all of it. I actually worked, and I was doing some other stuff. So I missed Friday the 11th, which is the Netflix Geek Week and the IGN Expo. I got Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley does his normal Jeff Keighley stuff of world premieres and his best friend of Hideo Kojima. We get stuff from them. I mean, it just really didn't, catch me, I guess is the best way of putting it. I mean, we got Elden Ring. I don't care. I don't have an Xbox. The only Souls game I really enjoyed was Sekiro. I'm just not a swords and sorcery guy, so there's that. Metal Gear Slug Tactics, absolutely ecstatic for it. Cannot wait for that. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, I can take it or leave it. I'm not a first-person shooter guy. I do enjoy Borderlands. At least I enjoyed the first one. I never got around to trying the second one. Or no, I did the second one, never did the first one. I like Tales of the Borderlands. I got bored with the pre-sequel, and I never got around to trying 3. I mean, again, it's Tiny Tina's Wonderland, so that's her D&D fantasy campaign. Again, I'm not a big fantasy person, so there's that on me. Pardon. Death Stranding, I walk a lot for a living anyways. I don't want to play a video game that has to do with walking a whole bunch. So there was that. The Evil Dead video game, maybe. Jeff Goldblum announcing Jurassic World Evolution. Maybe 2. No, I'm not one of those types of gamers for this thing. Keighley's great. I knew Kojima would be there because Kojima's always where Keighley is. It just really wasn't my thing. Moving on to the next one. I was not there Friday. I was off doing stuff. Saturday, I caught the very tail end of the Ubisoft thing. The only thing that interested me out of the Ubisoft was the Mario and Rabbids 2. And I really look forward to that. I really, really enjoy the Mario and Rabbids 1. Now we're getting Lumas and elemental powers go with it. Hopefully Rosalind will be really good. I know super lazy rabbit Rosalind or Rosalina. Is it Rosalina? It's Rosalina. Don't know why I'm saying Rosalind. Rosaline. Try to combine the two. Rosalina, the rabbit version, seems super lazy and right up my alley. Gearbox, I don't know what in God's name they were thinking, and God, Randy Pitchford was sweaty. Sweatiest man there ever was on camera. Devolver Digital. I really like Devolver Digital. I got some other games. I cannot wait for Trek to Yomi. That looks amazing. I wish they had made more of the uneffable tape, but I also didn't want to pay $1,000 for it, nor did I want to pay $500 for that suit. Sunday, I don't care about Xbox. I don't own an Xbox. I learned my lesson when I owned an Xbox 360 and it red ringed twice. And I've been on Sony's bandwagon ever since because their consoles don't break down. Bethesda, I don't know why people are getting so butthurt over the Skyrim and Space video game being Xbox exclusive. I have a bunch of exclusives on PlayStation, That's fine. We don't get one space game. Ooh. I think the biggest highlight out of there is Otherworlds 2. That trailer was hilarious. Square Enix. Cannot wait for that Guardians of the Galaxy game. I was so happy we're getting that. I know, kind of hope what they do is give us track options where in the sounds we can switch to streaming audio. Where it's like, I'm going to stream, so replace all the licensed music with unlicensed music. But I'm really looking forward to that. It looks like they learned from their Avengers mistake of not making the characters look like stunt doubles from the film. Other than that, the Final Fantasy stuff I was not impressed with. I do not have a PlayStation 5, but I have been watching people stream Strangers in Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins, T-shirt guy kills chaos. It looks like Neo, because I mean the Neo people are working on it, but don't care. It looks like a dude in a T-shirt, out of place, kind of like he got isekai'd into this world, and now he's got to deal with all sorts of crap. I hope to God the final armor is not revealing him to be the true warrior of light, or he was always the warrior of light. He just looks like he should be grinding on a rail in Tony Hawk. Then he should be swinging a giant sword killing goblins and muttering how much he hates chaos. Other than that, I did not watch the PC gaming show. I'm not a PC gamer, and I kind of checked out on that. Monday, I was at work. I did not get to watch a bunch of this. I did watch the Capcom. I don't know why people were thinking we were going to get Street Fighter 6 announced there. That probably won't be coming out till next year. Personally, I thought we would at least get some updates on Oro and Akira and Street Fighter 5. That kind of let me down. We're getting Resident Evil 8 DLC, which just tells me it's either going to be Chris's side of Resident Evil 8 or someone in Chris's squad is going to be the DLC campaign. Monster Hunter Rise 2, the Monster Hunter turn-based RPG. I'm probably going to get that. I actually really like the first one. I actually went to completion and got the Master Poogie monster, and I hope to do that again in this one. Hopefully they'll let me ride Nergigante. I kind of doubt it though, but you know, I get to make a monster. We also get to learn that the peppers from Monster Hunter Rise come from eggs, because all peppers come from eggs now. Sure, why not? Like I said, Capcom was kind of meh. I knew what to expect. The big surprise was Nintendo. Nintendo really, really came through. I was really happy with that. I know some people aren't. It's okay to be wrong. I'm joking. Nintendo's not for everybody. If you're an Xbox person, that's fine. That is fine. Xbox is not for me. Nintendo definitely was for me. And I was super happy. Honestly, the first thing up was the Kazuya trailer. I don't play Smash, and if I did, I'd be playing Terry. So there's that. I am really impressed that we get Metroid after 15 years of that thing being a rumor that finally got confirmed in the treehouse. That, yeah, we kept trying to make it. It didn't work out. We kept trying to make it. It didn't work out. Now we finally get to make Metroid Dread. It kind of has an Alien Isolation vibe to it. Hopefully you won't always be chased by these robots. But something tells me you're going to get a power and you'll be able to kill whatever robot for that specific area after you get the final power up. Other than that, I am really looking forward to that. That Metroid looks fantastic. On top of that, it's Metroid 5. We're finally moving forward in the story. The WarioWare and everything, fantastic. Mario Party, that's great. I'm not a Mario Party guy. WarioWare, not a WarioWare guy, but also fantastic. I really, really like when they bring these IPs out. What else was there? Going off of memory. Zelda stuff, I was so disappointed. They were only celebrating Zelda 35th anniversary with a Game & Watch, which is going to be hard to come by. Barely anyone's going to get it. In America, anyways. I guarantee that thing's going to sell left and right in Japan. But we are just not a big Game & Watch people. I was so hoping we get like a HD duology for like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker for the Switch. And was disappointed by that. Breath of the Wild 2 looks fine. We get Edgy Link with one arm. Hopefully we don't have to deal with any more BS with weapon degradation. That really has hindered my enjoyment of Breath of the Wild's 1, is constantly having to get and lose weapons. I mean, I understand some weapons can degrade or have less durability than others. That's fine, but once I get a laser sword, like the Guardian weapons, I should never lose that thing. Only the Master Sword should be top class, and even that thing has a durability. Yes, it recharges, but whatever. I didn't like Dark Cloud for that reason. I certainly didn't like Breath of the Wild for that. I don't like it just for that reason. Everything else about that game is fantastic. I just do like weapon durability games. Try to see what else I'm missing in Nintendo. Breath of the Wild 2 conference. Okay, there we go. Recapping games. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, that actually kind of surprised me. I will probably get that. I really enjoyed it on the PlayStation. And this has all, including New Powers Awakens DLC. I'm fine with that. If I get a more complete version that I can take on the go, I am absolutely okay to do that. We had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 coming out in a couple weeks. Actually, almost in exactly a week. That's great. I could play that on the go. I am really hyped for Advance Wars. I love those types of games. In fact, I just got on that sale we talked about a couple weeks ago. I actually just picked up Valkyria Chronicles 4 on my Switch. What else was there? Super Monkey Ball. Cool. Life is Strange True Colors. Not my thing, but I will certainly watch a stream of it. That's it for that one. What else did we have? No, that was it. Bamco Namdai, I'm saying it wrong on purpose, had like that one game they were House of Ashes. Sure. I really didn't pay too much attention to that. After Nintendo, honestly, I kind of checked out. Like I said, E3 was very lackluster. I knew Sony wouldn't be there. That's not a big deal. I know Sony will have something down the road. They did just bring out Ratchet and Clank. We just had a very direct with Horizon Zero Dawn 2. And I think maybe the next direct they'll probably be announcing, hopefully, Spider-Man 2. Or the Spider-Man DLC for Avengers. Because I know we got the Wakanda stuff announced finally. There's still no saving that game. But they are at least making valiant efforts, and I applaud them for that. They're trying to turn that game around as best they can. Like I said, E3 was just meh. Nintendo was a real saving grace. I won't say it saved E3, but it was certainly the highlight of my night. In the grand scheme of things, say the biggest surprise for me was definitely Guardians of the Galaxy. That looks to be like one of my games I'm definitely going to be playing. I wish I could stream it, but I do not have good streaming capabilities. Hopefully will. Definitely Metroid. I cannot wait for that Metroid. The alien influence is everywhere on that game. And, even more so because it's kind of like a 2D Alien Isolation. So, those are my thoughts on E3. Hopefully, I did not upset too many people on it. let us know in the comments, and I will see you guys next week with comic recommendations. We're gonna have a bunch because they came out swinging this week, and next week they will be swinging even harder. Take care, guys.
E3 and
There
before
was one more I wanted to call out.
Oh no, go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
There's a game on a Summer Game Fest called Planet of Lana, I think it was, and it's all hand painted. It looked gorgeous.
Right.
Like the girl or whatever, and the little black cat animal creature thing, like ships coming out of the sky. It just looked gorgeous, and I wanted to give it a shout out. It looks,
it kind of reminds me of it kind of reminded me of Ori Will of the Wisp in a way because of the way the artwork how that went. Okay, I forgot about Planet that. Yeah, thank you, Jack. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just leave it at that. Before I do get out of here, I do want to thank everybody. Of course, Vaughn, he had to go, so I definitely thank him for being on. But I do want to thank the two new people. Thank you, G, for being on. Thank you, Jack, for being on. So before you guys go, definitely let everybody know where they can find you because we were on with you and Ari on Geek Salad. Again, thank you for having me and Vaughn on there. But where can the folks find you, sir?
Yes, so you can always catch us on Instagram at Geek Salad Now, and then from there we have our own profile where you can go to our link tree. We're on all of your podcasts as REANG Presents Geek Salad. We have our own Facebook group as well, REANG Presents Geek Salad, and check us out. We do YouTube, we do podcasts every week on Wednesdays, and we always release critiques on movies, shows, anime, anything within the geek culture. We mix it up.
Yeah, I have to get back to Ari on his Interstellar argument, but
yeah, man,
I have to get back to the Interstellar argument. I'm like, bro, you're gonna be fighting uphill battle. And Jack, also, dude, thank you for having on. Could I tell them about your blog, or would you rather?
I just started it up, honestly, about a couple weeks ago. It's Strength and Unity blog. Basically talks everything from video games, sports, movies, TV, just kind of I'm never going to be a streamer or a YouTube personality, so I figured it's a place I can put my opinions on things, and maybe people will invite me on their podcast. So, and I can talk about it more. So, yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead, Jack. Jack, I'm just showing your blog right now. Go ahead.
Oh, cool. Thanks. It's strengthandunityblog.com. And you can follow me on Twitter, SIU_blog. Please share. Let people know. If you like what you see, if you got any, opinions for articles or, things to talk about, let me know. And I'll definitely write up on it.
Oh yeah, he definitely does. Like I said, I may talk a lot, which probably a lot of people have found out tonight that I am clearly capable of that. But Jack does give a lot better written reviews than I can do. So I just actually showed his link up there, Strength and Unity blog, and like I said, it's an open door to both of you guys because I usually do this every Friday from 8:30 to a little bit 10:45. And like I said, we cover everything. We try to cover anime. We try to cover television, especially with Loki, with new stuff there, and Marvel movies and comic books with my buddy Joe, who's usually here, but he's not here tonight, but that's fine. He definitely will be back along with others next Friday. So you guys have an open door invitation. So if you do want to be on with us, you are more than welcome to do that. So as far as yours truly, guys, of course, I can be found there. The link at the bottom goes to basically my link tree for my Facebook and YouTube groups for all my podcasts, Git Bit, How the Frack We Got Here, and the Optimus Podcast. Definitely like, share, and subscribe from there. And if you like what we did, please let me know. If you didn't like what we did, please let me know. Because again, we're just four guys giving our opinions on E3. And if you agree or not disagree, it's okay. The whole point is just having a normal discussion because it's all fandom. Whatever you find that you love, you are a nerd or a blurred. It does not matter because nerds run the world. Hell, a nerd just broke up with a beautiful woman and he's still getting women. That should tell you a lot right there. But with that being said, definitely do like, share, and subscribe to everybody that's on here. And again, this will be put back up on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching this on the playback, please go ahead and comment if it's real because I do make it a point to respond to everybody, good or bad. Just let you know how we show love to you guys. So with that being said, guys, please take care of yourself and each other. I've been Will. That's been G. That's been Jack. Vaughn is probably going to go play Ocarina of Time somewhere saying, I'm going to show you I can beat it. But no, he's probably calling it a night. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching Get Bit. And again, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll all get through this. Peace, guys.